And we are back. Pokemon Heart Gold, Hardcore Nuzlocke. The randomizer is in full swing as our Route 27 first encounter is none other than Giratina itself. Are you serious right now? So we have Palkia, we have Giratina. All we need now is Dialga, and we will have the trifecta. We will have the ultimate triple threat. This is disgusting. This is overpowered. It's not fair. Now it's on us to see this through to the end. For our Toho Falls first encounter, it is going to be the Politoed here with Poison Point for its passive ability. And speaking of which, Giratina's passive ended up being Storm Drain. So you got to get those water type moves out of here. All right, with only two first encounters left, we run into Machamp on Route 26. She ends up with the Flash Fire ability, Shuck the Ultra Ball, and secure it. And for our final first encounter in Victory Road, it is Dialga. I cannot, dude. Is this show scripted? Like, what is going on? We get the Palkia early on. We secure the Giratina just recently, and Dialga's like, bro, I want some of the action. I'm not sitting on the bench watching these two other guys get all the glory. So Dialga comes in. It does take quite a while to catch him, so I'll speed to the actual secure. Had to swap around 3 or 4 Pokemon just to get the Dialga into prime position. We drop back with the Dust Ball and add a ridiculous legendary to the team. This Elite Four team is going to be so stacked. One final obstacle before the Elite Four, and it is going to be our rival here. Straight puppy guarding the entrance, and the Hariyama comes down, goes for a complete belly drum cheese. We went for our signature setup with the yawn into Lucario strategy, but we catch the Hariyama without looking here, and we encore the belly drum, and he is absolutely stuck doing nothing. So now we can either pivot into the Lucario, or we can just put Hariyama down and try to get a better positioning, because if Hariyama woke up and broke out of the Encore, could have just pimp slapped and killed Lucario or any of our other Pokemon. However, the Sceptile comes down the Vital Spirit, keeping it at a safe spot against our Yawn. So Luke's like, bro, I don't even care. I'm just the setup. Let me just go ahead and take care of these first two Pokemon, as our rival has a Togekiss of his own, going for that Sky attack here. However, we get the Yawn off. Someone's going to have to tank this, and we can swap into really anybody. We haven't added the Giratina or the Dialga to the team yet, so we're just still working with our main roster here, but we are going for the Lucario. We know we have the leftovers. We can heal up, and there is the Yawn. So it's all about finding that opening in the fight, and we found it here with Skywalker, who gets 2 Swords Dance, and now the leftovers doing work as well. We are max attack before you even know it, almost back to full HP as well, which is beautiful. We go in for that. Brave Bird takes some recoil off the top of the Togekiss, is gone, but not forgotten, as the Pinsir comes down with the Intimidate. An absolutely beautiful combination, but a +5 huge power Lucario is way too much for the bug to handle. 2 Pokemon left, and it's going to be probably the Poison Point Politoed. However, we pimp slap that with a Force Palm, get that out of here, and that leaves the final Pokemon, Steelix, which is weak to fighting, so we lean in with one more Force Palm, and that is it. All of the glory, the entire journey, has led us to the Elite Four. We have made it to the Elite Four. Let's go ahead and check out everybody we left on the table, as well as everyone we lost along the way. We've got a lot of good options here with a lot of really good abilities as well. Some not so good, but man, there were just so many options. I've never even used a Yawn Mega, so if we potentially got a really good ability there or had access to some really good moves, that would also be huge. And speaking of abilities, this Raikou, I believe this was like our second or third encounter, and we get the legendary cat or dog here, and it having slow start is just so brutal. I really wanted to use him, but it wasn't meant to be, as the Regigigas ability will definitely be holding him back. We did manage to get him in a couple battles up front there with like the first and second gym, but he just wasn't sustainable long term. There were just better options as well. We got the signature Magneton and the Clefable. Pretty cool that we got both of the pink clones, if you will, the future fairy types there. So we got those in the first box. We had Sniper Wheezing. I was definitely keeping him in my back pocket just in case. We got Ampharos. A lot of the Electric-type Pokemon just could not do well because I didn't have access to either Discharge or Thunderbolt given their levels. So I'm pretty sure if I leveled them up now, we could get one of those. The Typhlosion I ended up using for more of his HMs, but we did make sure Kenobi got in there. Vaporeon, one of my favorites with Filter, really good ability as it reduces the damage of super effective moves. So that's pretty cool, but I always use Vaporeon. Then Golbat, I never took the time to level him up to the Crobat for that friendship evolution, but I use Crobat a lot as well. Then one of our last encounters was Caterpie, really funny stuff. Politoed did wonders in one of our most recent randomizers. We did get Hitmonchan in there as well. We have Machamp here. Really good. Flashfire could be a good usage of a pivot there, but I think we're fine. Once you see the team that we end up with, you'll realize, oh my gosh, it's that overpowered. It really is. We got the Wailmer, Ursaring with Klutz, not too great there. And then we got the signature Arbok, Clamperl, Kangaskhan with Insomnia could be decent. Then we have Blastoise with Bad Dreams, which is pretty cool because one of our main strats throughout the run was using Swalot to put the first Pokemon to sleep with Yawn, so we could pivot into Blastoise and then get some damage off of that just on the switch. I think that would be really cool. But given 1 second there, the three that we lost along the way, we lost Pinsir right there after the second gym to our rival. He got stuck, or she got stuck against our rival's Gengar, and we only had fighting and normal type moves, so we lose our Intimidate Pinsir. That was really brutal to see. And then in the 8th gym, we went the entire game without losing anybody, really, but then Alakazam and our shiny Mismagius both fell prey. We ran into 2 Jirachis in the gym, and they both did absolute work, but Alakazam actually went down to a Venomoth Signal Beam, being super effective and stab there. Unfortunate stuff, and then Mismagius got stuck against the Jirachi. We went for it all, and we lost. So that does it as far as the PC is concerned. But what about this final team, though? What are we working with? And it's just so ridiculous. This is like, I always ban legendaries for a good reason, but we've got the ultimate tanky opener here in Luke the Swallow. He's got Volt Absorb as well for a nice pivot. And then we get the Redemption Palkia. We lost our Soul Link. Our Soul Link was Sock Sword. Palkia was the reason we went down, was the final straw that broke the camel's back, and he has been absolutely carrying. General Grievous here, and then we got Calrissian here. We recently picked up the Dialga, and it is phenomenal. The fact that we get all 3 box legendaries for Gen 4 is just disgusting. I can't even believe this. So we're just going to waltz into the Elite Four with some of the most iconic legendaries. On top of that, we've still got our starter, Anakin, the Togekiss. Look at him, always ready to give you a hug. And on top of that, Skywalker, the Lucario, with the ultimate sweet potential with that Swords Dance and Leftovers, on top of the huge power. If I lose this Elite Four, there is no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse. This is stacked to the heavens. So there is no complaining about critical hits or status or bad rolls. This is just so much firepower that it's just going to be on me. It really is. So without further ado, let's dive right in and see if we can beat this first Elite Four member without losing anybody. Normally we're up against bug-type or psychic-type Pokemon, I should say, but this time Will or Florentino is going to have a whole assortment. Let's see what he is working with. Charizard comes down, a beautiful opener here, and I think we're just going to go straight for the Yawn. We dodged the burn and flinch there. Really good stuff. Probably going to go for another Fire Fang, so we don't really want to get the Lucario in there. And honestly, we could go any of these 3 legendaries. They're just perfect swaps. So that we eat another Fire Fang, no problem there. Now we just got a free swap, essentially. We're going for that Stab Surf. And we do have a Lumberry on Grievous who can lean in to its Unburden ability. So if the Lumberry pops, we get a bonus speed proc as well, which is really cool. So we're just going to go with those Stab Surfs. The opponent is not going to have much to answer this. Now the Scizor does come down, and we don't have a fire type move on the entire team. That is kind of a weakness that can be exploited, but these Stab Surfs are going to be doing so much damage, it really doesn't matter. And Scizor misses the memo, goes for the Iron Defense, but doesn't realize we are working with 4 special type moves. So Scizor goes down. The Gyarados is here. It always feels weird without seeing the Intimidate come down. when the Gyarados is thrown out. Water flying type, I believe that leaves us with the Spatial Ren, just shredding that right open. The Gyarados is healing here with the Citrus Berry. An Ice Fang comes down. It is neutral, given the Kingdra typing. Another Spatial Ren comes down, leaves Gyarados in the red, and we're probably just going to go for a Stab Surf in the rain since it'll counteract that not very effective damage, saving the Spatial Ren PP. And the Walrein is here, big, chunky, and scary, but we have a super effective Aura Sphere lined up, a fantastic fighting type move. I love that it's special. Most fighting type moves are physical, so getting a super strong special fighting type is just beautiful. That isn't the ridiculously inconsistent Focus Blast, I will say. So Grievous is just completely clutching this. We're just passing the time with the commentary as Florentino is defeated. That is one Elite Four member down. And let's go ahead and make our way to the second member. Alrighty, only 4 more battles in this run right here, right now. Gonna go ahead and take on the second member, and I think we're gonna be just fine here. Really not too much to worry about. Other than, I don't even know what I would say. Like, who are we scared of? Maybe Jirachi. Jirachi's just been really troublesome this run, but I can guarantee a Pidgeot is not the one that we need to fear, as I think we're just going to pivot right into Skywalker here, our Lucario, and potentially set up while the Pidgeot takes a nice rest right here. And let's go ahead and get one Sword Stance down. Let's go ahead and get another. The Leftovers doing so much work as well. This is just such a beautiful strategy. And Agility comes down. The Pidgeot is awake and alive, but does not go for the Feather Dance, which is absolutely huge. So now we can lean in. It probably will right here. Nope. Goes for the Wing Attack. Tries to get as much damage down as possible. But again, we have huge or pure power on the Lucario. And it's just not going to matter as long as we are faster. Now, this is going to be interesting. Garchomp's speed stat is incredible. I think because we have the pure power, we're going to have enough damage with the quick attack. So I'm going to roll this, but this could be a mistake. Oh my god, it's a mistake. But thankfully, Garchomp goes for Dig instead of the Earthquake. And oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure Garchomp was faster though. So, but we can just do a beautiful pivot into Anakin here and dodge the Dig. That is just monumental. That was it. Like, I'm trying so hard not to be overconfident, but with this team, it's hard not to be because it is just so stacked. I think neutral Air Slashes is just going to be the way to go here. We're going to fade. Got to eat this Dragon Claw up top. Beautiful stuff. The chubby little Anakin doing work. And here comes the Staraptor. What can this Togekiss do? We've got a bunch of neutral options here. And Staraptor is really strong. Could have close combat for our steel type. Ooh, I think Phasma or Giratina could be huge here as well, because if it goes for a normal or fighting type move, that ghost typing is going to do wonders with this Ghost Dragon combination. As far as abilities, we could go Dragon Claw or Aura Sphere. Let's see what a Stab Dragon Claw does. Pretty decent damage. Pretty decent. I think we're just going to lean right into it. Let's just go for it. We're going to win this long, drawn-out battle. There is the Citrus Berry. Staraptor is the ace. Another Air Ace comes down. A Dragon Claw to fade away. Beautiful. Got a little bit tipsy there, but we are doing just fine. And now let's lean into that Shadow Force. We're going to disappear as the dive comes down. Each person sidestepping each other. A very tactical battle here, as that does hardly any damage. But let's do it again. Shadow Force, we're going to disappear. Another dive comes down. This Gorbis is a monster. Okay, we can't be playing around. Let's go ahead and go lean into a Dragon Claw. See how much damage that does. It does get the flinch off of the King's Rock, as I gave Giratina the King's Rock for those extra flinch chances. But now that Gorbis has used dive first, we can sidestep with the Shadow Force, sidestepping the dive, and we come in and slam Gorbis into the next dimension. Beautiful stuff. The Breloom is here to stay, and I don't have a super effective move, but we are under half HP. Breloom probably can't hit really with anything, but I am a little bit nervous. So I'm actually just going to pivot into Swallow for the poison typing. We're going to eat that grass, no problem. And it does have the black sludge, so it's going to take that damage on top as well. Sky Uppercut comes down. We eat that, no problem. Swallow drops back with a sludge bomb and completely snipes the Breloom. Koga is defeated, and that is number 2 down. We've got 3 more battles. Let's take a moment, regroup, and see if we can win that third one. But as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.